Ascendant number 1, Aries, which is called as Mesh Lagna. What about Aries? Aries will find this particular transit happening in the 9th house. 9th house is the house of divine wisdom, it is the house of divine God. So exactly you will follow the transit actual representation through the Kalpurush Kundli. Because Aries is the actual first house of the Kalpurush Kundli, so you will represent the Kalpurush. And therefore your 9th house gets activated and your 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 gets activated. This transit is all about going inward, doing the karma, doing religious activities, following the path of spirituality, indulging into spiritual practices like yoga, pranayam, meditation. This means that your karma has to be refined and expectations must have a higher order of expression. Why? Because 10th house lord is in 9th house. That means it is 12th from itself. That means you must have to quit some karma that you wanted to do. Rigidness, stubbornness and ego must be given at the feet of the God and surrendered and completed, and you must rejuvenate yourself into a much better person. 11th house lord is actually 11th from itself. You must also understand that 11th from 11th means higher order expression of your want, of your hope and desire, as well as your wishes. So you would want to wish material things. What above that can you wish for? For example, I want to buy a big and happy bed, but maybe I will not be able to sleep in that bed. So maybe I can ask God, God, can I have a good night of sleep? Can I have a peaceful mind? That kind of expression you must show to this transit, and you will be revealed ways by which you can achieve this. 12th house lord goes into the 9th house, which also means religious sacrifices. That means you should do more of Havan, you should donate, you should help a lot of people and spread the world of spirituality, and spirituality means the right way of living the life. You may help the needy, you may help educate few people, plant more trees, think about the planet, and quit one bad habit that you know of and do it with full conviction. If you are able to do this, Aries, you are going to achieve what you have not achieved in all these years of your life, and no matter of what age you are in right now, you will be able to do it because Mars is in your support. When this transit is happening, Mars is moving on your 6th, 7th and 8th house, and therefore Mars is there to give you that full throttle. So you have to put the feet on the pedestal, take the right path and forget what comes ahead of you. You just need to wait and watch, go slow, have patience and trust in your Guru. In case of Taurus, this transit is happening in the 8th house. 8th house defines a lot of transformation, revelation of fear, your investments, in-laws, as well as research and analysis. So when Tauran, you find this transit happening in the 8th house, this means you must physically go into the domain where you have not done something in your life. Suppose you are fearful of doing something in your life. You should now try to understand and meditate why are you fearful because for that reason. Suppose you are fearful of, say, heights, then you have to deep meditate on this particular subject to ask God, why are you fearful of heights? And once you try to encounter your fear, once you will try to face that and want to know the reason behind it, you will be revealed what you have never known in your entire life. 8th house shows blind spot of a particular horoscope where your vision never sees anything. And then when Jupiter, Saturn and Ketu goes there, remember Ketu is blind. So it is like you are going there, experiencing that house because you are touching the 8th house now. This means there may be some ups and downs coming in your life, some unwanted scenarios, some unwanted activities, some unwanted people, but all those areas were the fearful areas for you, and now you will experience them firsthand. You have to deal with that situation, and this does not mean that you can escape. This only means that this is not happening for your bad, this is happening for your good. That is the beauty of this transit, because you will be given information also on how to deal with such situation. Once you deal with this situation and once Saturn goes into your 9th house, Dharma is established, which means you will be completely on the right track. So this is the time where you switch your node, where you switch your path, and you will be given an absolutely new life. In case of Gemini, this transit is going to happen on the 7th house. Now, what does 7th house means? First of all, you have to understand that 7th house is the house of other people. It is the house of marriage, legal contracts, any kind of exchange of money, service, anything. And 7th house also means higher order expression of your 10th house. Suppose you have power, what do you do with that power is the 7th house. What is the use of your karma? Is whatever you're doing, is it helpful to somebody? That is your 7th house, because 7th house is 10th from the Bhavat Bhavam principle. 7th house is also very much important because it is related to marriage and love and romance, because 7th house is 3rd from 5th and 11th from 9th house. Also, it is the house which is in front of you, so something which deals with your surroundings and environment, that is the 7th house. So when this transformation is happening through the 7th house, that means you must be aware of your surroundings. People around you, the signs and symbols around you, the dreams, the talk on the radio, the statements that you see randomly on the billboards, all these are of very important significance. Repeated numbers, repeated statements, repeated words, you must be careful about this, because that is where the transit is going to come. That is where the transformation will express itself. Also, the people around you are going to be critical about you. They will try to give a lot of information on your own behavior, because this is Ketu and Ketu is imploding. So that means you will also be very much influential among the people, and you will be giving a lot of speech, a lot of talk, and you will be more expressive, and people will come and listen to you. This means you will get the help from the best possible person who can listen to you and give you the best possible advice. But here, one thing you have to understand, that your 8th house Lord is also going into the 7th house, 9th house Lord is going into the 7th house, and 10th Lord is going into the 7th house. This means 10th and 7th house is in the picture with the same Lord, Jupiter. Which means that you need to pull up your socks and correct your karma. Rahu on the 1st house will give you out of the box ideas. Rahu on the 1st house will give you new scenarios of life, new dimensions. Can you take that dimension? People may not support you. Maybe like you may lose somebody whom you trusted blindly, because 7th house shows revelation of truth from the surroundings. So this also means that if you are living in a surrounding which is dirty, unclean, you have to clean that. You must make it very divine, very spiritual. Try to have God's image in your home. Try to have some dhoop, or incense sticks in your home. Try to meditate a lot. Try to create a serene and powerful yet very pleasant ambience in your home. Try to avoid black color. Try to use more of yellow, golden, and try to use more of sky blue. Cheerful ambience and cheerful environment is going to give you a lot of positivity, and you must surround yourself with positivity throughout this transit. When you do this and when you correct your surroundings, a lot of areas of your life related with 7th house is going to improve. Your relationship with your children is going to improve. Anything that is connected with your relationship with your spouse, or any issue that is related to marriage, is going to resolve. This resolution may not be the way you want, but it will be a compulsive resolution which is out of your hand. So you need to be careful on these matters and go very slow. This also means there can be a sudden dramatic twist in your career as well as your marriage, or both. So you must be slightly careful on these areas and do not try to cross the boundary, because Rahu on the 1st house will definitely try to mess up with your head and give you some ideas which is not correct. And henceforth you need advice from a consultant, professional person to whichever area you want to go. So try to take an advice from a proper professional person and listen to that. You might not necessarily implement that, but at least get a second opinion, so that you do not try to put yourself into a wrong path unnecessarily because of the Rahu's influence. Although Saturn and Jupiter will definitely try to give you whatever they have to offer, but you have to also understand that unless you take up the step, planets can only give you energy, but if you refuse to accept that energy, then you will be in trouble. Overall, for Gemini, this transit is going to be completely life-changing transit. Everything around you is going to change and transform, and that is where the beauty comes into picture. Coming to the fourth zodiac, known as Cancer. So for Cancer ascendant people, this transit is going to be on your sixth house. Sixth house is the house of service, debt, disputes. This is 11th from 8th, so you can understand that this can define the longevity of your life. Sixth house is also the gains that you have from the fifth house, and this also is fifth from second. So it is second from fifth and fifth from second. Henceforth, it is the Upachaya house. That means a house related to finances. Sixth house is also the roles and responsibilities and the daily activity that you perform on your daily life. You can call it as the job that you do and the office that you go from 9 to 5 every day. The repeated task is going to get impacted, and this will tell you how to transform yourself through this repeated activity. And this also means that there will be a deviation in the way you work, the role that you play in the life, in the office, in the arena, wherever you are in. Sixth house also means past life prarabdha karma. And when Jupiter, Saturn and Ketu goes into the sixth house, this means that you will understand the past life karma, the understanding of you going into a particular process compulsively will come into picture. What does this mean? There are few events in the life which you cannot ignore. You have to bear that pain, you have to go through the process because that is inevitable. But what we do is we fight not to go into that process, and we only delay it because we can never deny that process. So it is best that we pass through the process with some comfort at our hand, but face that challenge. This transit will tell you why you should face that challenge, why are you escaping, and why you should not try to escape this and take this head on. This transit means the problems will be more clear, the understanding towards your own disputes will be more clear. This also means that some disputes in your life will increase just to draw your attention. So it's better that from now onwards you try to focus on areas which are negative and not so great in your life, and you need to try to correct that. When Saturn goes into that house, this means that your 8th, 7th, 6th and 9th houses are joining together into the 6th house, and therefore this is going to tell you anything which is a secret in your life. All disputes will be resolved. At least you will get the information. But if you do not initiate the karma, then this will be in a very difficult situation, because 8th house coming into picture, the revelation can be a bit difficult to digest, but that is what the truth is all about. This transit only shows that the prarabdha karma may come to an end. That means anything which you were suffering from so long, that may come to an end. You may just be repaying the final EMI of your loan, the karmic loan that you have taken from the universe. And this means that some actions, some kind of remedy, some kind of donation that you do, some sort of interaction will propel you into the final loan repayment. And this also means that the repayment of the karmic loan may accelerate. So for a period of 3 or 4 months, you may find greater difficulty. But if you be on a high moral ground, if you raise yourself to higher vibration, you will be clearly able to see that whatever problem is coming in your life is actually to resolve things, and you are getting actually the good out of that. Let us take an example. A person has been given a task which is far more difficult and not in the person's domain of expertise, and he finds himself into a soup. He finds he is working 15 hours a day and unable to take up the task. But he does not also understand that if he is able to take that task, he will be promoted much sooner than he has expected. It will give him exposure he never thought of, and it will give him a lifetime opportunity. So these kind of challenges you need to take. You need to seek the light. You need to be positive and optimistic, because if you are able to do that, 6th house, which is the house of service, will give you a chance to serve the mankind, serve the nature, and if you do that, it's all set. You may flush out the negativity of your life just in this matter of few months. If you are able to do that, you will see the magic of this transit bringing great deal of changes in your life, great amount of transformation, towards positivity. And therefore, you need to serve your guru because your Jupiter is in the 6th house. So you need to go to a Gurudwara, serve the temple, serve the church, serve the people who serve the God. Try to help the humanity and try to help the people in need. Try to help people get educated and offer food. Any kind of small service, money does not count, amount does not count. It's your effort and intention that is what matters the most. Can you do that? If you can, you are certainly doing good for yourself. Now the 5th ascendant is Leo. In case of Leo, the Saturn, Ketu and Jupiter transit will happen in the 5th house. This means the 5th Lord, 6th Lord, 7th Lord and 8th Lord will combine itself into the 5th house. 5th house practically defines children, but it also defines productivity of life. This is 11th from 7th, which means gain of any kind of contracts or marriage. This is 9th from 9th house, that means the higher expression of the 9th house, as well as it is 3rd from 3rd, again it is Bhavat Bhavam from the 3rd house. That means this house is Bhavat Bhavam from 2 houses, that means 3rd house and the 9th house, which is therefore makes 5th house very crucial to both the 3rd and 9th in your own horoscope. Now you have to understand that Saturn, Jupiter and Ketu in the 5th house is going to give you learning. Because 5th house is also the house of education and learning and higher order expression, this means the creativity of life will find its ways to express. You would want to learn some new things in life, you would want to learn some better things, you want to upgrade yourself, you have to go into education, you may have to take some training, you may learn new language, new art, new science, whatever it can be, but you should upgrade yourself. When you will try to upgrade yourself, you will encounter that your productivity was lacking somewhere. You were lacking in few areas, and therefore this is the time to put forward your worth and prove that you are worthy of more than one thing. And this means that you need to learn and upgrade, and you have to find out the weak areas of your life. You have to find out where you fall short and you have to upgrade yourself. You have to correct those mistakes and you have to learn from the past mistake. This means that you need to give up on your negative side of the life and you have to be more optimistic. This means that there will be sudden changes. The theme of this transit will be towards dealing with other people, having a proper communication, how to express yourself romantically, how to learn new things through difficult times. This does not mean that the time coming in the future is actually difficult for you, but this means that whatever you have faced in the past, you will get to know why you have faced that. And this will tell you how to move on, how to correct the situation, and how to proceed with full precaution, and therefore you will become a better person. 5th house shows ascension, and this means that you will grow into your field and you may get promoted. There will be a change of career, something beautiful coming from your own home, and this means that a lot of things around you will find its ways of positive expression. People will deal with you with a much better way and you will learn how to deal with the problems in your life. For the Leo ascendant, the ego is going to break and you will learn more about yourself. This transit is all about learning and understanding. Some things may still be stuck in your life. You may feel that things are not moving because 5th house is productivity, and when Ketu goes there, this means that you have to go inward. You have to go back to the slate. You have to go to scratch and you have to restart few things and give up on few approach that you were taking, because if you are pushing the wall, it may not be of any productivity. So you need to sit back. You need to go back to the drawing slate. You need to go back to the drawing board and you have to find out what mistakes you have done. Reflection in the past, reflection within, and correcting and checking your mistake, background check is what is needed for you. And if you do that, you will be extremely successful. Now in case of Virgo, this transit is happening on the 4th house. What is the 4th house significance? 4th house is all about comfort. Rahu is in the 10th house and this transit is in the 4th house. Totally defines losing the comfort, doing something which you have never done, attempting something which is out of your comfort zone, and you are doing something absolutely new. Fourth house also shows auspicious event at home, and this also shows you are going out of your home into a different home. This also defines relocation, career change, transformation in home, maybe a renovation, marriage, or any kind of positive activity going on in your home. Now, in this case, what you have to do is find out what is keeping you very much comfortable. Anything that is keeping you comfortable will go away. Be ready to lose that seat, that comfortable seat. Be ready to sit on a hard platform, because that is what is necessary for you right now. Too much of comfort will reduce the growth. Too much of comfort will stagnate the water. It will stagnate the mind. And now Saturn Ketu will tell you, go inside, find out what is stagnating you, what is blocking you, what is suffocating you. Leave that, go ahead, move ahead, grow, cross the boundary, find out something on the other side, find out through experimentation. So this will be a leap of faith for you. Now here is the catch. Whether you are a Virgo ascendant or you are a Virgo moon sign, this is going to affect in the same way. Because mind also operates from the fourth house. Because mind always seek comfort, mind always seek relaxation, mind do not want to move. So this comfort, or you can say out of comfort efforts or out of comfort events, is going to not only affect your physical body but also your mind. So first it will affect you mentally, prepare you to come out of that comfort zone, and then there will be a physical movement. And if you are doing that, that is the best for you. Fourth house also shows some activity related to your country and surroundings, and this means that you should do good deeds to your nation. Whichever nation you are in, you should try to work towards the growth of the country, work towards the growth of the society wherever you live, and work towards the growth where you stay. And for that you can plant trees, you can help people nearby. You do not need to go and cross the boundary for that. All you have to do is look in the neighborhood and you will find people who are in trouble. Just help them, and if you do not and cannot help them, at least you can communicate and be present physically and emotionally. Some emotional support will also go in the long run, and this means you will prove yourself worthy of the blessings of Jupiter. In your case, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th house lords are combined in the 4th house. This means something related to your marriage and career will happen combined, and this is going to be a very, very big and transforming event for you. Just accept the event with full acceptance and full faith, and take the jump in the name of God. Yes, you should also show some sign of practical understanding, feasibility, and doing the groundwork and the homework. Do not take a blind step, do not take a blind jump, but take a calculated risk, and that will pay definitely in a positive way. For you Librans, this transit is happening on the 3rd house. 3rd house shows efforts, courage, siblings, and 3rd house also shows what you hear and what you express after what you hear. 3rd house also shows your arms, that means your power, the willpower or the free will which has been given to you. Remember, 3rd house is also 6th from 10th house, and it is 10th from 6th house. And therefore, this house defines karma and the first step that you take to do some sort of karma. There is also one of the Upachaya houses, that means until and unless you take the first step, until and unless you go and hit the rock, you are never going to make an idol. That means a sculpture must hit the rock, he must use his hand. Yes, there are tools necessary, but if he will not lift his hand, there will be no sculpture prepared. So here, this Saturn, Ketu and Jupiter going into the 3rd house shows immense amount of transformation in your approach to work, in your approach to the efforts that you make. And this also means that you may decide not to put any further efforts into something, and maybe you will shift the gear and put your efforts into something else. Because the 6th house, 5th, 4th and 3rd are coming together, you will work more towards the comfort and productivity of your life, and you will want to get rid of the negative side, and you would want to improve yourself financially. This is going to be a very good time to put yourself into a into a position where you can carve the best out of you. All you have to do is work physically and emotionally on yourself. Before working on the surrounding, you need to work on your own body, on your own mind right now. And this is the best time because you seek balance. You are a Libran. And when you are a Libran, the third house shows attempts, efforts needed to keep you balanced. And therefore, if your life is unbalanced, if it is not in equilibrium, now is the time when you pull up the socks, go full throttle, and you try to create something out of nothing. So if there is a rock which is a shapeless, irregularly shaped rock, you hit it from multiple angles, people watching you will think that he is just hitting the rock, he is wasting time. But after some time, a beautiful idol, a beautiful sculpture will come out of it, and you will become a creator. So this is a transit that will create you from within, that will restructure you, redefine you, and rebuild you. And if you are taking necessary steps, and if you're accepting the understanding of these planets, this will help you rebuild your life. Things will not move automatically. Idol will not be prepared automatically. You need to hit it hard, and that means you need to take matters in your own hand. And this means you need to be very practical, ready to fight, have a very strong will, have high confidence, no overconfidence, ready to serve the society, ready to bow down in front of God and accept what is given to you. The resources will be limited, the scope will be high, and the result will be brilliant. All you need to do is bow down in front of Saturn and Jupiter, accept them as guru, maybe seek some advice of a professional, maybe seek some advice of your guru, chant mantras, express yourself positively, and listen to only positivity. Reject negativity, seek the light, asatoma sadgamaya, move towards the bright side of your life. With any negativity coming to you, break it with your own hands, because now Ketu, which is the weapon, has been given to you to fight the darkness. That is up to you whether you take up the challenge or not. This is going to be a challenging time. Planets will try to put you into situations where they will ask you to fight and win, and this is just a test. If you win, you are going to be considered as a warrior. Do you want to be a winner? For Scorpio, the transit is going to be on the second house. What happens in case of second house? Second house is the house of speech. It rules your throat, it rules your mouth, and it rules the bank account. It is the Dhan Bhav, it is 4th from 11th house, and it is 5th from the 10th house. It is one of the Arth Bhav, that means it is the house which rules the wealth, it rules your family values, it rules the blood relation, it defines the regular and repeated ups and downs coming in your married life, and it also defines what will keep you alive. It also defines what your body will give you, how productive your physical body is and how productive your thoughts are. When this transit goes into this particular house, the first thing that you have to take care is what you speak and what you eat. Ketu goes inward. So whatever you eat is going to define you. So first of all, this is the best way and this is the best time to talk with a nutritionist, to talk with an Ayurvedic doctor and find out the best meal plan for you. It is good for everybody, but it is going to directly impact your planets because this is the second house. This means that you have to rethink about the way you save money. You have to rethink about the money that is in the bank, whether have you paid the taxes for that or not. You need to rethink about the values, the family values that you have, and you may question them because Jupiter, Saturn, Ketu is all about learning, understanding and quitting what is not needed. It is filtration. When Jupiter, Saturn and Ketu combines, it is going to filter out the negativity and only it will give you the remaining of the positive side. So this is where you must be very, very careful because the Rahu is in your 8th house. When Rahu is in the 8th house, you are already experiencing a sudden turbulence in your life. Why? Because you are a Scorpion and you are the zodiac of transformation. So now the transformation will come through the second house. That means you need to take the name of God. This also means that you would talk less, and when you will talk about your experience, and this means you will also have interest in occult science. This is a good time to do some mantra sadhana or some sort of siddhi. If you are well equipped and knowledgeable about that, you can proceed with that. This is the best time to have a discourse or discussion with a guru, with a professional about your problems. You need to talk, but talk with a person who will understand. And the good thing is, you will get such a person who will understand your problem. And this is why the transformation will suddenly, which was negative till date, will suddenly become positive for you. So the time of difficulty may come to an end depending upon your dasha, mahadasha. That is what I say. It totally depends on your horoscope. But considering your ascendant, the money is going to refine. You will understand how to save. It's more about using the resources that you have. And this also means that some of the resources in your life will go away just for your own sake. It's like you will be given only the necessary resources, just sufficient enough to give you the best possible life, because it does not necessarily mean that you will take a lot of resources, because then you have to carry them throughout your life and that may become a burden. So this is a burden removing transit. It will shed off the load from your shoulder. It will give you lesser responsibility, but it will make you more aware of what you speak. It will give you more aware of what you can carry in life, and this also means you are going to shed off the load from your shoulder and feel lighter. You will feel much light, much happy and progressive during this transit. So I wish you all the best. Now coming to Sagittarius. Now in case of Sagittarius, this transit is happening on your ascendant, and therefore you are the most affected zodiac because of this. Because this transit is happening on your own ascendant, this means that you are going to transform physically. You are going to transform emotionally. There will be an all-round personality development in your transformation. There is going to be an all-round growth in your life. You are going to go places. You will be more inward. You will understand your problems, the pain areas, and you would do everything in your capacity to resolve the issue. Saturn, Jupiter and Ketu on your ascendant is actually tearing you apart. You are leaving the shell that you were carrying behind, and now your real personality is coming out. Jupiter on the first house after 12 years is going to give you the best possible understanding of your own self, best possible understanding of your own life, and this means that you are going to transform from level 0 to level 50 or level 100. This means that you will raise yourself not only emotionally, not only spiritually, but also physically into a much greater aspect, and you would be surprised to see that you could actually do this much, which previously you thought that you will be unable to do. In your case, the first, second, third and fourth house are coming into picture, and therefore it's all about you. It's all about your values, it's all about your identity, it's all about your comfort, it's all about your efforts. So you would want to mix all this. You would want to improve your identity, you would want people to know about you, you would want to do everything to be what you always wanted to be and shed off everything. Rahu in the 7th house is definitely going to give you a kind of a push through the 7th house. So this means either this push will come through a marriage, or either this push will come through business. Some sort of career or marital push is going to put you in a position where you will be bound to transform yourself. You will be given a lot of inputs from 7th house, and that input will help you understand your negative and weak areas, and that is how your life is going to be stable. From last few months, your life was unstable because of your ascendant lord running in the 12th house, and this is currently in the 12th house in Scorpio. Jupiter is in Scorpio, but coming 5th of November, Jupiter will come in your first house. Saturn in the January month will move into your second house, and this means that you will attain the stability which you have not attained from these many years. Saturn in the second house will ensure that your values are being solidified. Right now you are transforming. Between 5th November and 24th of January, this transformation will complete, and whatever you become, you are going to be known because of that. You will be stuck in that identity and ensure that identity is positive for you. You should not know, or you should not be known for something which is negative. So you should be optimistic about the future, you should be hopeful about the future, and you should be ready to change yourself at any given time. Flexibility is the key here. If you be very much rigid, if you feel that I will not shed off what I have always wanted in my life, there may be some compromises, there may be some changes, there may be some acceptance, and there may be some sort of sacrifice on your end. Do that. Whatever is necessary, whatever is feasible, whatever it takes to put you into a situation which is positive for you and positive for everybody around you, you should take necessary measures, you should take up those steps and try to change yourself. If you will be very much stubborn, egoistic, and you would not change yourself, then this transit will make you change purposefully, forcefully. All you have to do is go with the flow, understand the comfort, leave the comfort zone, do something which you have never done, understand your capabilities, and speak the truth. Honesty, truthfulness, righteousness, and establishing your own identity through spiritual means is going to be the theme for Sagittarius. Because Jupiter will be in Mula Nakshatra, while Saturn and Ketu are tearing you apart, this means you will be converted and transformed from within. The roots, the very basis of your life is going to change. And this is for positive side of the life. It's not negative at all, because these three planets are the best planets for you, because one rules you as ascendant, the other rules the second house, that means your moral values. So in this case, you must understand that this particular transit is going to throw you places, will make you go from one end to the other end in your life, and will change you completely. Be ready for that change. Accept that change with full gratitude. Thank the universe and pray as much as you can. Spiritually, you are going at a very fast pace and you are growing in a very, very positive side. All you have to do is, yes, the acceleration is more, so you're feeling the gravity more, you're feeling the acceleration, G-force, because you are on a rocket and you have been launched into the realm of spiritual direction. Just relax. Once the field of effect of this transit goes away, you will find yourself among the lap of God. You will find yourself in the entire pure bliss. This transit, out of all 12 ascendants, is going to affect the Sagittarius ascendant the most, and then the Sagittarius moon sign the most, and then everybody else. You are under the zone of direct and highest impact, and this is the best time of your life for you. Enjoy it, relish it, accept it, and make the best use of it. In case of Capricorn, if you see this transit is happening in your 12th house. What does the 12th house means? 12th house is an unseen house. You do not know what is behind you. So that is the 12th house. 12th house is also the house where your soul completes the journey and exits the body. What does this mean? 12th house is also a house of sacrifice, so you need to make necessary sacrifices. Also, if you see your Lagna Lord, that means your Ascendant Lord, is in the 12th house. So the theme of sacrifice or the theme of giving up is the highest theme of your horoscope. This means you must give up something, you must sacrifice something, and you must redefine the way you define yourself. You have to give up some identity, take up a new identity. So I definitely see an identity transformation. For example, your designation can increase or decrease. You can get married, you can get single. So in this way, there will be a sudden and direct impact on an identity. This also means how you are projecting yourself, your perception is going to change. Rigidity, which is a core essential principle of your zodiac, that will go away. This also means too much of discipline is bad for you and too much of flexibility is also bad for you. This also means you will be very much concerned about your losses, and this means that you should do all sorts of necessary steps to recover those losses. But first, you must understand why that loss happened in the first place. So it's all about learning through experience, learning through losing. So what you should do is, you should categorize each loss, write it down, and find out why the loss happened and what was the necessary step that could have prevented that particular loss in the past. Learn from the past is going to be the theme. And because the Mula Nakshatra Jupiter in the 12th house also shows blessings coming from your forefathers, from the Pitra, this house, this transformation is going to give you a lot of blessings. And this also means that if you have a Pitra dosh, this transit can actually make you get rid of it. So what you should do? In this transit, you should try to talk to elderly people. You can visit old age home. You can visit an elderly people who is in your neighbor. You can talk to your old parents and you try to take maximum wisdom, because that is where from the wisdom is going to come. You need to respect and bow down in front of the elder, and you need to respect their experience, and you need to gather as much as you can. Learning through people who are going away, learning through some things which you leave, learning through things which you lose is going to be the theme for you. You may feel that it is a negative time, but no, it's not the negative time, because immediately after this transit, Saturn will come on your ascendant. So Saturn is taking care, adjusting your life and trying to say, have you done anything stupid? So that let me correct it. Saturn will correct the situation before he comes to the ascendant, and once Saturn is in ascendant, he is going to be extremely careful about your particular ascendant and you personally. Because you are a Saturn ruled zodiac, you need to go slow. This understanding of going slow, this understanding of false achievement is going to go away, and you will be more aware about the truth of life. You will be more aware about the reality of this particular matrix, this particular world. 12th house also rules the subconscious mind, and therefore the subconscious mind is going to undergo a transformation. So people will say that you are the same, but there is some difference in your personality. That difference will create the difference in your life in a positive way. Hope you make the best out of it. Aquarius is the 11th zodiac in the Kalpurush Kundli. It rules the natural 11th house. And for you, the ascendant lord is in the 11th house. And the 11th house lord comes into the 11th house. And Ketu is present. This means a complete change of your hopes and expectations. You expect things which you had in your mind from a very long time, but now Jupiter is coming and letting you know the roots of your expectations, whether it is feasible or not. Whatever is possible for you, whatever is feasible for you, whatever you need, you will get to know. I always talk about it in my videos that what you want and what you need may be totally different. So this is the transit who is going to tell you what you need and the necessary compromises that you have to make and necessary expectation change that you have to make to get what you need. You will understand that, and I hope you get the point and you work towards it. 11, 12, first and second house is coming in the picture. Now in that particular situation, you should understand, because 12th house is coming into the picture, you must leave something. Because the second house is coming into the picture, you will gain some values. The first house is coming into picture, which means you will change personally, your identity will change personally. And 11th house means if you clarify your expectations, if you filter your expectation, if you just recalibrate the way you want the things or what you want, you will get the best out of it. Whether you like it or not, this transit is going to make you leave some of your dreams, leave some of your desires, and give you a new set of life, a new set of expectations. 12th house transformation also means that you are going to relocate. When Saturn goes into your 12th house, your ascendant lord is also going in the 12th house. This means you will relocate in one way or the other. Physically, yes, it can show that you have a change home, your identity is changing, your home is changing, you are relocating cities, countries, or at least buildings. Some sort of relocation is happening depending upon your own horoscope. But you must understand that Aquarius is a natural giving zodiac. It is the natural 11th house and everything is happening in the 11th house. So the theme of this particular transit is what you expect. Is it what you need in life? And so whatever you need, you should only look up for that. And if that need may be difficult for you to digest, you still take it, because that is what in the long run will be fruitful for you. You don't understand it, it's okay. You just wait for November 5th and you will understand that whatever is happening for your own good, and then you will be ready to accept it, then you will be ready to digest it, then you will be ready to rethink about whatever you were expecting from life. It is a very good transit because expectation is something that keeps us bound. Expectation creates mental blocks. Expectation creates the boundaries. You are going to break all of those boundaries to create a new essence of life. Welcome to the new domain. And for the last and the final zodiac, which is Pisces. In case of Pisces, it is happening in your 10th house, the house of karma, the house of dharma establishment, because it is second from ninth. This is a very important house. Not only it defines the karma, that means the actions that you take, it is also the brightest house of the horoscope. This means what your talent is, how you can be famous, what your approach towards life will be from the karmic perspective. You have to also understand that this is Kendra from all Kendra house, and this is also the house which is 12th from 11th. That means this defines karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So when 10th, 11th, 12th and first house is coming into picture, your life is all about karma and refinement of karma. So this shows you will understand your karmic attributes. You will understand what are you trying to do, whether it is good or bad, what is correct for you and what is not correct for you. So why this transit is extremely important for you is because your ascendant lord is in the 10th house, moving from 9th house, going into the Mula Nakshatra and facing the 11th and 12th house. Which means this will tell you what is the necessary step which is needed for things which you want in life, for things which are necessary, what you must give up, what you must take, what changes you must bring, and what sacrifices you have to make in order to make your life steady, stable, permanent, and a very happy life. Rahu is in the 4th house, and when Rahu is in the 4th house, it definitely means that you are going to work towards coming out of the comfort zone and giving you a new area of comfort. So you would find comfort in the other side of the life. That means whatever you're doing right now, it will be completely transformed, career will be changed, surroundings will be changed, career environment will also change, and you may relocate yourself, change the company, change the way you take up the career, change your role. Alternatively, you can say somebody who is a software developer is now into business management, or somebody who is in the bank now works in the railways. So this is kind of a dramatic career shift, dramatic role shift, dramatic karmic shift that will happen in every area of your life. This transit is going to impact each and everything, and because Saturn is in the 12th from the 11th house and going towards the 11th house, this means whatever sacrifice you make now is going to stabilize your hopes, ambitions, desires, and will give you whatever you wanted in life, but in a more realistic, practical and grounded way. So the best theme for you is to take up the challenge, change the way you approach towards karma, whatever refinement is necessary, consider that and pray to God and surrender to the will of the universe and accept and be on a boat. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the ride, take necessary actions, work on your ambition, donations. Donate whatever you can so that your 12th house stabilizes. For everything else, yes, you have to let your horoscope get analyzed because it is actually your own horoscope, Dasha, Mahadasha, that is going to tell you who is going to be most impacted. But anyway, because your ascendant lord is coming into transformation, this is one of the best time that you can get a shot, yet the best time to change whatever you want to change in your life. Get ahead, proceed and do what is necessary. God is with you. So friends, seekers, this was the transit analysis of Saturn, Ketu and Jupiter in the zodiac of Sagittarius. I know this was a long video because it was a much requested video, so I gave you as much as information as I can. Remember, this is independent of your horoscope. If you want to know what is exactly going to happen with you, you have to get your horoscope analyzed because it totally depends on hundreds of factors. Now it also depends whether you are in Jupiter Mahadasha Antardasha, Rahu Ketu Mahadasha Antardasha or Shani Mahadasha Antardasha, because that is also will tell you how this is going to fold how this is going to give the results to you, which planet will be in the dominant theme, whether it is Jupiter, whether it is Ketu, whether it is Saturn. Because if Jupiter is dominant, it means you will learn something. And if Saturn is dominant, that means you have to do something. And if Ketu is dominant, it means you have to give up something. If Rahu is dominant in your horoscope, that means giving up something will lead you to get something. So in this way, you have to understand which house, which dasha, which planets are in effect, and depending upon that, the flavor of this transit will change or not change. But yes, more or less, this theme is going to be exactly what I have discussed in this video. For any questions, for any doubts, you can just put your comments in the comment section below. I hope you like this video, and if you like, do subscribe and share and hit the bell icon, because that is what keeps you and me connected. And subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you are a new subscriber, explore my channel for other videos. Lot more videos coming soon. Stay tuned. This is your host Puneet, signing off.